How shall we spend our time today?
Give me all you got, has-been.
Day at the hospital it is.
Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring one of my favorite characters in the game, Heavy Weapons Jax. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded, because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Heavy Weapons Jax to the test. Heavy Weapons Jax guys was released on the 20th of August 2015, and his original price in the old store was 345 souls. So considering that this character is more than 4 years old, we should be expecting some outdated stats. So let us check them out. His attack is 37,819, which is the 46th highest in the game and the 26th among the gold characters. The hit points, they are only 92,736, the 32nd highest overall and the 13th highest in the gold league. However, the toughness guys, the toughness is 45,360, which is the 17th highest in MK Mobile, and attention, the highest among the gold characters. After all these years, regardless of how outdated he is, Heavy Weapons Jax is still the toughest gold character. And if we apply his passive to his toughness, his real toughness will be 58,968, which is the second highest in MK Mobile. Only Ronin Kitana has higher toughness than Heavy Weapon Jax. That's amazing guys. And the recovery is 28,350, the 43rd highest overall and the 26th among the gold characters. The power generation is just 100%. So for his stats, Heavy Weapons Jax will get 16.8 out of 28 possible points. Please guys, take my advice and never use special one of Heavy Weapons Jax, which is called Gotcha Beatdown. Trust me, it is really bad. So let us find out why. First of all, the ability cannot be blocked by the opponent, you have to keep that in mind. However, in order for it to succeed, you have to be very close to the enemy. In other words, the special attack isn't long range, after all it is a grapple. In addition, the ability has no buff or debuff whatsoever, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the bubbles as minigame, which is really bad. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the special attack is only 8,736, which is the 70th highest in MK Mobile and the 47th among the gold characters, and the maximum damage is 12,480, the 80th highest in the game and the 54th highest among the gold characters. I believe you can guess that they are basic gold characters with better special one than Heavy Weapons Jax. Anyways, once again, let's repeat the properties of the ability. It is unblockable. It doesn't have any buff or debuff, it cannot be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the bubbles as minigame. So for his special one, Heavy Weapons Jax gets only 4.3 out of 13 possible points. LAW Blast, or in other words, Heavy Weapons Jax's biggest weapon. Really, this special attack is the bread and butter of the character. It defines him. It is really awesome. Unlike his special one, the ability can be blocked by the opponent, it has shield break as debuff, it can be cast from distance even though the first mini attack will miss, but let's face it, it doesn't do any damage whatsoever anyway, so it's fine. The special attack is lethal, it consists of 2 mini attacks and it has the single tap rectangle as minigame. When it comes to damage, the picture is getting better here. The minimum damage of the special attack is 32,448, the 51st highest in the game and the 25th among the gold characters, and the maximum damage is 63,649, the 61st highest overall and the 32nd in the gold league. As you can see, the biggest issue of this character is his low attack and the low damage of his special attacks. Anyways, let's take a look at the properties of the ability. Once again, it can be blocked by the opponent, it has shield break as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 2 mini attacks, and it has the single tap rectangle as minigame. So for his special 2, Jax gets 11 out of 19 possible points. The X-ray of heavy weapons Jax, guys, is called Bring It. What you need to know about this special attack is that first, it can be cast from distance, you shouldn't be afraid to use it if you are away from the opponent, and second, it has power generation as buff, which is quite honestly very useful. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-ray is 76,129, the 70th highest in MK Mobile and the 43rd highest in the Gold League. Definitely there are characters out there whose special 2 deals more damage than Jax X-ray, but after all, this guy is almost 5 years old. We have to take this into consideration. Once again, the special attack has power generation as buff and it can be cast from distance. So for his X-ray, Jax gets 3.3 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets for his special attacks adds up to 18.6 out of 36 possible. The basic attacks of heavy weapon Jax, guys, are pretty good. The speed of him hitting the opponent is very high and he has pretty good chaining. On top of that, it really takes him short time to start blocking or to get back to his original position. In other words, the animations around his basic attacks are also very fast. I have to admit, his basic attacks are not perfect, they have their flaws, and I believe he is not the best gold character when it comes to punching the enemies, but definitely he's one of the best. But anyways, this character who is almost 4 years old is still very good hitter. If the opponent is blocking, he will push him back. It is true that he doesn't do it all the time, but it's still, he does it. Because let's face it, they're newly released characters, diamond characters that don't do it. If the opponent is blocking, it's like game over for their basic attacks, but this isn't the case for our old friend Heavy Weapons Jax, and this is why he's going to get a solid 8 out of 10 for his basic attacks. Please guys, be informed that a massive spoiler will follow here, because the passive of Heavy Weapons Jax is called Heavy Weapons. And here it is what it does. I quote, plus 30% toughness for all Spec Op teammates. LAW Blast Special Attack 2 deals damage to the entire enemy team and breaks shields. Now the first question is, deals damage, but how much damage does it deal? And the rough answer to this question will be around 25% of the damage dealt. So in other words, if Heavy Weapons Jax Special 2 deals 100k damage to the active enemy, it will deal 25k to the other 2 tagged out enemies. Which is not bad, definitely not bad, and if the special attack crits, the tagged out opponents will be absolutely devastated. And if the special attacks actually got to Little Strike, the tagged out opponents will be almost dead. And this is the main reason why I always use Rat Hammer on Heavy Weapons Jax. In order for you to damage the tagged out opponents, you need to maximize the damage of your special 2. And you cannot do that without having the Rat Hammer. Once again, Heavy Weapons Jax has very low attack stats and very low damage on his special 2. In order to rectify this, you need a Rat Hammer. But enough of this. I really love special 2 of Heavy Weapons Jax, guys. I love playing it with Rat Hammer and Shansung Stone. Those two pieces of equipment work perfect with Heavy Weapons Jax. They are kind of made for him. And the breaking shield part of his passive, let's face it, it used to be much better and much more useful when Cold War Sonya was just a gold character. Once she got promoted to Diamond, almost nobody plays her, and in a way she's just useful in a Cold War team, hence this part of Heavy Weapons Jax passive is just useful against a Cold War team. And it's really, you don't face that many Cold War teams recently, so it is a waste. The 30% toughness that Jax adds to his teammates, let's face it, it is not a game changer, but it's not something that I'll refuse. I definitely prefer 30% hit points or 30% attack, that would be awesome, but 30% toughness It is not like recovery, it's not like totally useless, so it is still something. What else I can add about this passive? Once again, I really love it. You can definitely destroy the entire enemy team with one special tool, especially if you have Shansung Stone. It works much better than classic Sonya special one, and it works much better than Kobujitsu Tanya special tool, at least based on my own observations. So, in the end, how do I summarize what I said? I realize that I am biased and prejudiced towards this character because he is one of my top favorite characters in the game without any doubts. So I really don't want to get crazy and give him like 20 out of 20, even though in my opinion he totally deserves them. So I'll be giving him like 17.5 out of 20. I believe this is reasonable because his special 2 is good and the passive works perfect with it. The problem is that his special 2 doesn't deal that much damage and the base attack stats of the character are low. In addition, the toughness boost is good, but it's not a game changer, and the shield breaking part of his passive is almost not applicable because nobody plays Cold War teams, or at least you don't face them that often. So 17.5 for his passive. He is just a Spec Ops character, so he gets 1 point for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Okay guys, we got to the point where we need to decide whether Heavy Weapons Jax is a good character, whether he's a great character or a bad character, etc. Now, where do we begin? Let's take a look at the bigger picture once again. He has not really the best stats, even with his great toughness. His special attacks are okay, his special 2 is great, but his special 1 is unusable. His basic attacks are very good, really good, especially for a gold character, and his passive is also very good. So how could I possibly rate this character? I already told you guys, I really love Special Jax. Did I say Special Jax? Sorry, I meant Heavy Weapons Jax. I love everything about him. I love his gameplay, I love his special 2, I love all the teams that you can build around him. In general, very solid character. And you know, so far I broke the rules twice, giving more points than the points that should be given. For example, I gave 3 points for Assassin Jade tagging attack, even though the maximum amount of points I could give is 2, and I gave 4 subjective points to Vampirus Melina, even though the top I can give is 3. So I'm going to do this one more time, guys. I really love this character. I believe he is very, very underrated. So many players think he is trash. I really don't understand it. He is a perfect character, and I can bet that I can finish hard battle using Heavy Weapons Jax team faster than using let's say Cold War team. This is how good he is, because at this current state of faction wars, a good team is a fast team, and every team around Heavy Weapons Jax is a fast team. Trust me, guys. So I'll be giving 4 out of 3 my subjective points. He really deserves them. After all, he's one of my favorite characters in the game. And with my 4 points, he's going to score 65.8, and we can label him as a good character. I mean, I could go even further saying that he's very good and even great character, but let's don't blow this out of proportion for now. Actually, he ranks 25th on our ranking out of 46 evaluated characters so far. He's 25th alongside with Classic Scorpion, just above Kobujitsu Tanya and just below MK11 Raiden. Once again, Heavy Weapons Jax, final verdict, good character. Okay guys, we got to the gameplay. Now, should we talk about a possible way that we are going to have Heavy Weapons Jax as an opener? Please guys, never use him as your starter. He is the worst character to be used at spot number 1. First, because he's going to get power drained, second, because he's going to get snared and eventually killed, and third, because really if you use Devastator on him, it's going to be a waste. I believe this clears up the situation. When it comes to his hardest matchups, I would say those should be Assassin Jade, MK11 Jade, Relentless Jason, Assassin Kitana, or Assassin Scarlet teamed with Assassin Jade. I believe you got the idea. All characters that could evade special attacks are very, very difficult matchups for him. And because of the nature of his passive, I cannot really say who is the character that he counters. In fact, he can be good against Assassin Jade if she is tagged out and he performs his devastating special 2 on the currently tagged in character. Thus, he's going to damage her while she is tagged out, but if they are facing each other, then Jax will have serious problems. So once again, his passive can be good against all characters, but he clearly has difficult time against characters that can evade special attacks, because he heavily relies on them. When it comes to the best item set for heavy weapons Jax, I only use this item set. As a weapon, the Rat Hammer is a must. Once again, heavy weapons Jax has very low attack and you need to boost it in any possible way so that you can land a more devastating special 2. As an armor, you have to give him Shao Kahn's helmet. That's very important. This gives him additional critical hit chance, which increases the damage of his special 2. And as an accessory, it is paramount to give him Shansung Stone. Trust me guys, his special 2 combined with Shansung Stone is a devastating combination. It is amazing. I cannot really describe it, I don't have enough words. It is one of the greatest synergies in the game ever. So once again, Rat Hammer, Shao Kahn's helmet and Shansung Stone is the way to go for Jax equipment. Okay guys, we got to the teams. Now, if you're asking me which is the best heavy weapons Jax team, I have the answer ready. It is Covert Ops Cassie, Heavy Weapons Jax and Demolition Sonya. That's right. He needs Covert Ops Cassie so that he can get the unblockable chance. You know, everybody is blocking and Jax needs the Rat Hammer. So if he has the Rat Hammer, this means that he doesn't have block breaking chance. Hence, the enemy is going to block his special 2 and you don't want this to happen. So, Covert Ops Cassie comes to the rescue and he needs Demolition Sonya so that he can get additional 30% boost to his attack. We already mentioned his base attack is low. So having Demolition Sonya is very, very useful for him. Of course, you can make any variation of this team. For example, instead of Demolition Sonya, you can use Balance Kenshi to be still okay. In this situation, Jax is going to have special 2 ready, so he can use it immediately. But I really believe that Demolition Sonya is the better option because she makes his special 2 better. And of course, you can build so many troll teams around Heavy Weapons Jax. For example, you can team him up with Classic Sonya and Kobujitsu Tanya so that whatever you do, you're going to damage the tagged out opponents. This is a fun team, not very good, but still fun team, guys. I believe you got the idea. And of course, 3 Jax's team is always an opportunity, is always a possibility, but do I recommend you playing 3 Jax's team? I'd rather say no. Okay guys, Heavy Weapons Jax, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you think he's trash? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored 65.8 and we labeled him as a good character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. And if you want to know which is the next on-demand review coming in next year, you will find the list in the description of this video. See you next time guys. Take care.
Get some!
Perfect.